Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Cardback Cobra Commander by Hasbro. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so tonight we're taking a look at the Retro Cardback Cobra Commander. This is in the latest assortment of Retro Cardback figures. I picked this up at an area Walmart. This is a really nice looking action figure. I also have the HasLab exclusive version, which was included with the Cobra His Tank, and we'll do a comparison of those in just a few minutes. Taking a look at the packaging, you can see the Retro Cardback artwork there of Cobra Commander. You have the action figure inside of the bubble. He does include 2 extra sets of interchangeable hands, his blaster, and the holster which attaches to his back. And last of all, he includes a fixed blade dagger. On the back of the packaging, you have your collectible cutout file card of Cobra Commander. It says, Cobra Commander Classified, Role Enemy Leader, Primary Specialty Intelligence, Secondary Specialty Ordnance, Experimental Weaponry, Birthplace Classified. Over to the right, it has a brief bio that says, this fanatical leader rules with an iron fist. He demands total loyalty and allegiance. His main battle plan for world control relies on revolution and chaos. Okay, so tonight I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to start with the comparison of these two figures because I do not want to open the action figure on the right, which is the HasLab exclusive version of Cobra Commander. So to begin, let's take a look at the card backs. There's an obvious difference in both the design as well as the artwork on the card backs. On the left, you have your mass retail release, which has the G.I. Joe banner at top, the Cobra, the enemy symbol across that, Cobra Commander's name below it. You've also got the warning and age symbol up there. And if you look at the artwork, it has Cobra Commander in sort of an action pose. And then you have the action figure inside with the accessories as we just saw. The background on that card back is also black, and it's punched out at the top for the peg hook. If you look at the card back on the right, it has a white border. It has not been punched out for the peg hook. It has the traditional G.I. Joe banner at the top, different artwork of Cobra Commander, Cobra the enemy logo down at the lower left, Cobra Commander's name in between the blisters for the figure and the accessories. So the one on the right is designed more like the original 1980s card back. Alright, so let's talk about the differences between the action figures themselves, starting with the helmet. On the left, on the mass retail version, there's a white stripe. On the right, there isn't. On the left, Cobra Commander has a mirrored visor, and the one on the right does not. And I think that visor and helmet look a lot better than the one on the right. Next, if you look at his tunic, on the left, it's a light blue. On the right, the tunic is black. If you look at the rank pips on the tunic, the one on the left, the rank pips are black. On the right, the rank pips are silver. Next, if you look at the uniform jacket, there's an obvious difference in both the design and size of the Cobra emblem, as well as the tint of blue that they've chosen for the uniform. If you look at the belt at the base of the jacket for the figure on the left, it's white and it has a silver clasp. For the HasLab exclusive figure, it's a black belt with red clasp. Moving on to the duty belt, for the figure on the left, it's black with a silver buckle and red emblem. Moving on to the figure on the right, it's a black belt with a red buckle and red emblem. If you look at the gloves for the figure on the left, they include a gauntlet. The gloves for the figure on the right do not, and there are 2 silver stripes on the cuff of the jacket. Both figures have a red stripe running down the seam of their pants, and they both have black boots. They also both include a sheath on their left thigh for the dagger, as well as a holster that attaches to their back for the blaster. There's a difference in the design of the holster as well. If you look at the holster for the figure on the left, you can see that the Cobra emblem is done in black, and it's got some silver circles around the mounting plate. If you look at the holster for the figure on the right, you see the Cobra emblem is done in red, and there are also silver circles around the perimeter of the mounting plate. The large circle is blue instead of silver. If you look at their daggers, the pommel on the dagger for the mass retail version is silver. The pommel on the dagger for the HasLab exclusive is gold. On the back of the card back, of course, for the mass retail version, there's the collectible cutout file card, and then some images below that of the other figures in this wave, as well as all the warnings. For the figure on the right, it's done in solid black with a Cobra logo at the top, HasLab logo below that, and the collectible cutout file card down at the bottom. It's also individually numbered. Alright, so here we have Cobra Commander outside of the packaging. I have to say, this is a really impressive action figure. So let's bring this guy in closer so you guys can see the attention to detail. See the reflection there in the visor, Cobra logo, his gloves, stripes on his pants, his boots. All the way around, this is a nice looking action figure. And yes, he does include a display base, as all the retro Cardback figures do. As far as articulation, head and neck are on a ball joint. You can see the upper part of the tunic there. The neck of it is part of the neck stem that goes down for the ball joint. Forward and lateral movement, the shoulder, bicep rotation. He does have a butterfly joint. Full range of motion there. Upper arm rotation. Separate from the bicep there. Double jointed elbow. Wrist rotation. And wrist pivot. And you can see that the torso is on a ball joint as well as a hinge. Forward and lateral movement of thigh, drop down thigh joint. Upper rotation there on the thigh. Double jointed knee, and those knee joints are really tight on this figure. No lower leg rotation. The foot will pivot and roll. And I'm not for certain, but that could be something that's different. I don't know if the HasLab variant has lower leg rotation on that figure. It's a really, really nice action figure. I do like it. And you can see that sheath there for a knife slid down. It's best to keep these as high up on the thigh as possible to prevent that from happening. I want to talk about accessories. So we cover the accessories in detail during the comparison part of the video. So I only want to talk about one of those, and that is the dagger. You can see it's a double-sided blade there, painted in silver, rectangular handguard, black wrapped handle. It's got a silver pommel on it, and the HasLab variant has a gold pommel, where that one is silver. And it will fit in this drop thigh sheath on his leg. And if you don't keep the straps pushed up on the upper part of the thigh past this point on his leg, where it causes them to stretch, the tension will not hold the sheath in place and it'll slip down. So the higher up you can go on his leg with the sheath, the better off you are. Overall, this is an awesome action figure. I still prefer it over the HasLab variant. This figure still has the best head sculpt, as well as the design of the Cobra emblem on his jacket. I don't like the accessories as far as the blaster and the backpack holster. That's completely impractical and unusable. So there you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Cardback Cobra Commander by Hasbro.